Hello guys, and welcome back to another one. SCOTTIESNR here. This is round 2 of the new FIA Manufacturer Series, and we're at Monza. Although it's Monza with no chicane. There we are, our qualifying went pretty good. P5, of course, the Sexy Library Award handed to us yet again. I believe this was a split 3, hard tyres only, and way too much fuel, as you can tell by them all revving it out. Rain with a very close second place with a badass livery of his own. And we have left the grid walk in this one for Mr. JJ Balding, Jack Balding Racing. Check him out on YouTube. 12-year-old, an absolute star of the future for sure, if he sticks at it. A lot of speed in this game. But Jack has asked us if we could leave the grid walk in, and it does let you see everyone who was in the room. I just wish it would let you see those damn qualifying times. So let's jump on board. You would not believe the story that I went through to make this. This is my 4th try trying to make this. The other 3 tries, we thought we had to do the whole video in this view, the outside view. We figured out what the problem was we were doing. We need to use our steering wheel to change the view, and we were trying to use the hand controller. So this is the 4th time that we've tried this, but now we do have the onboard, which is what was missing from before, and we're getting a bit of a run. We decided to go to the outside here just to try to keep him in the inside, but no way do I want any of that. We left right out of it, and there is your reason why we lifted right out of it. My goodness, that has got to hurt, gentlemen, that has got to hurt. And again, this guy, straight away we had a bit of trust in him, just because he didn't leave his nose on the side of us. He did not want a side by side with us there. We repay the favour by being slow on the next apex and holding them up awfully. They were the 2 corners that we knew we were struggling on in our practice goes as well. Anytime we did lose the slipstream, it was because of those 2 corners. And we see we'll lift off, we'll hand it to him straight away. We do not want any kind of battle at all. Small contact there, luckily no silly Gran Turismo penalties, as it was very small contact. The 2 corners, and there we try to make friends with him, we give him a wee nudge, but he lets us know immediately, no, leave me alone, I don't like that. And we just apologised, excuse me. We just apologised straight away, and message understood. He did not want even the smallest of taps as rain. Was that a glitch that came into rain? Because that helped us out no end. It was. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. I thought rain had a much better run, but it wasn't. We got extremely lucky. I couldn't believe how much of a boost it gave me. You can see when I have no pressure on the ass area on the way into this one, and second place. First place is starting to get away, second place was with him, but he's picked himself up. We have second penalty as we get that chicane awful. That was an awful run through that chicane, but stuff has went on behind. We'll have a quick skip back and we'll keep an eye looking behind. A small bit side-by-side contact, and a penalty handed out also for Mr. Rain. in the second sexiest livery of the race. So you can see this guy in second, serving his penalty. We weren't sure if we were going to get banned, but by about now we were thinking, no, that's much too fast to be nice and nudge him. So we had to go for it. We had to go for that. And first place, not too far away, but certainly not thinking about him. Thinking to myself right now, could we make friends with you? And right there, he basically says, yes sir, I'm friendly. I would like to make friends with you. And we rode over the moon, and it came with Mr. Apex ever so slightly there, and he gets a better run. If we had got a good run out of that, I think he would have nudged us for the whole straight. As it is, he was forced into taking a wee bit of a side by side with us, but he immediately folds back in behind us and lets us know again that we can hit our own line. We'll give him a flash of the hazards. Message understood. The guy wants to work as a team to try and secure this year's second and third place. So we get back over and we do this. Look at that. Look at that. How early did we turn in there? We fucking knew it. We knew it straight away. As soon as we turned in, we were shouting at ourselves, God damn it, Stephen. Second place with a guy here helping us out, and we've done that, and we look behind us now and we're like, oh, we're going to be right back in the mix. It was looking so good for us there, early days, but that 1 second penalty is bringing us into a totally different battle, and it is a battle from third place right down to 8th place. Mr. Wren in 8th place at the back of this, jump to the outside. You'll see another sexy green livery at the back of the queue. Before there's any clear area at all, and this big straight is just gonna squeeze everybody up even closer. A lot of pressure on this one at the moment, and a lot of disappointment in us right now as we're driving, because it was our own silly mistake and fault. And see, we lifted off there and let him come out and hit the racing line rather than have a side to side, and he gives us a flash of the hazards. And again, we stay right to the outside and even have a lift off, so as he knows, please don't worry, hit your own line. You can see he was making sure that if we did, go to the inside, he was ready to defend if he had to, but much more sensible. He's hopefully a bit of trust in us now, and we've a bit of trust in him as well. Still a big queue right down to 8th place. Gaining ever so slightly, 1 second there, I think. And still the queue rages on. We'll have a quick view from the outside so that you can appreciate the sexiness of the livery. If we drove as good as that car looks, we would be multiple times world champion for sure. Don't even think it's debatable. Thank you very much, Mr. Tom. And again, this guy moving out, or moving inside and giving us the racing line. Although it was nervous for me looking behind now, I thought to myself, is any of them is going to throw it? I went slightly defensive, you can see, more to the middle there. Just to try and discourage them. And discourage them it does. Has anything went down? Did they hold each other up? Ever so slightly maybe. you can see we just leave it a wee bit tighter than usual, and just the fact that he was in the inside and his nose was there, that's all happened there. But you can see the time it has lost. They were right on our bumper there, and any kind of side by side action at all is not good, as Ryan in the background makes his way up into 7th position. Onwards and upwards, we'll stay on the outside view while there's nothing directly in front of us going on as usual. Number 8 on the door. The 200 points that we needed was a top 9, I want to say. I think it was, no it wasn't, sorry, it was a top 8. A top 8 is what was needed in order to get over 200 points, which would have made us not have to go again. Although points for 3rd, I believe 270, so a lot of points on offer with a good result here. And again, we'll bounce on board now. You see these boys coming up. We'll take a small lift and we'll see him going to the inside, and we'll just make sure we're not here to race at the moment, gentlemen. If you want past me, show me your nose, and we 9 times out of 10 hand that stuff over on a plate, especially here. As long as you're in the slipstream, everything's good. And Ren up into 6th position there now behind us as well. He's made himself up a couple of spots in the last 2 laps, picking them off one at a time. And he's already, he was forced away back there as well with a 1-second penalty that he picked up. Again, just driving nice and patient. Still feel like we're not doing this car justice. Certainly not on this track. It was a lot better than what I was getting out of it on this track. I was a bit scared of it, as it had punished me whenever I tried to push and drive it too hard. The back end had punished me a couple of times. As these two wanted a bit of side-by-side action. Was there 2 for the price of 1? I doubt it. No, there was absolutely nowhere to go. We've had to take a lift, and the cars behind also have to take a lift. And we're having to sand it as well as defend it. Job done, and it's worked out. And we're up to 4th, and we're still clinging onto the slipstream. Just about clinging onto it, but again, those 2 corners, we knew that was our problem. Our problem area was those 2 corners. In practice, that's where we kept losing the slipstream. We just weren't consistent, especially with the first one. Very hard for me to get my braking area and my apex, in terms of looking for my braking area and then not moving my eyes quick enough, and kind of judging that braking area out of your peripheral vision whilst you're looking at your apex. Kind of moving my eyes over to the apex too late, and it just kept happening over and over. As Ren goes for the move, and we'll have a nice wee lift and let him back in, and we've got ourselves a wee bit of a gap, and we're thinking, Ren, let's do this. Again, a nice early lift, letting them know you want to be giving guys a nice secure feeling when you're behind them, or it is what I'm trying to do when I'm behind them. And again, these corners almost punishing us as the slipstream goes right up. I think it went right up to 0.8. I think it is 0.8 and you're in it, although I've heard that it's 3/4 of a second, which is slightly under 0.8. And ran another wee half-second penalty picked up, and now we're just in a different wee bunch here. We've fell back. But we still have this guy here who gives us a wee nudge, and we're like, oh, thank you very much, sir. And there's been no penalties handed out. It seems to be allowing reasonable nudges like this now, as Ryan is going for the move, and that was very nice to see as well, as Ryan is the one with a wee half-second penalty. Hoping at this stage that we are all about to be back in the battle. There will be 1, 2, we're 3, 4, 5, 6 people all still here, hoping for a bottle of bubbly at the end of this one. And so, after almost losing the slipstream, we've got lucky enough. We kind of wanted to nudge Ryan here, but it was too close to the braking area and travelling too fast. We changed our mind. We thought, have we got enough momentum to take it off him? But no, it wasn't. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, and luckily no harm done, and we got away with it. And Ryan is the man with the speed. We're feeling here, we're not really worrying. We're still in the fight for 3rd place, because Ryan has came from 8th place up to 4th, and he's the guy with the speed in a straight line. And we let the man know that we do not want it off you, and the guy behind me lets me know he doesn't want it off me, and we're all making friends here. And again we get out, we have an early lift. And he's back in it. It's game on yet again, lap 10. And there is still a bottle of bubbly there to be had, 270 pounds, right in front of us there. Although a top 8, which is the number on the door, Gran Turismo thought we should have got a top 8 that day, and a top 8 is what would have sent us home, not the race anymore. Second place, not too far up the road there either. If this wee bunch doesn't really get into a battle, there's still 5 laps to go. We could perhaps claw our way back up there if we were to work as a team. However, as the laps are ticking down, the patience will be slowly but surely being lost, and it would be time to start squeezing up and getting close and thinking of making those moves. Ran again with the hazards on, but we're not close enough at the moment. Ran going for a run the outside, and that guy looked like he's had a wee bit of a lift there. we did think, we thought to ourselves, will we follow rain through? And we thought, no, it's only lap 11, too early, don't throw it all away now. And again, we had a big lift there on the exit to make sure no contact, especially when we seen he was handed a second penalty. We wanted to be as close as we can here because rain is right in front of him after he serves his penalty. We're hoping to remain in the slipstream, which is precisely what happens, and we're still clinging on to rain on a slipstream, but there's still a bunch of 4 before you find a guy with no slipstream. And still, even at this stage, we're not really feeling like we want to race. We're feeling like we want to stay in this group. I feel like the person who should be most relaxed in this group is the guy at the back, because he doesn't have to look behind him at all. And we were a bit scared, I think, here. I think there was just a bit too much speed that time, and we decided to go for it, and the laps were counting down as well. Again, everybody filtering in, really good, respectful racing from everyone involved in this wee group. Anyway, I'm not sure how things went further on down the field, but certainly in this wee bunch that we've had here, there's been not really many penalties at all, apart from Rain. Rain has picked up a couple of wee penalties, but he is the man who's been making the moves, even though he's had those penalties. He's clearly got a bit more speed than anybody else in this wee bunch, as he's actually pushing us and trying to get us away. We'll give him a flash of the hazards. And again, we missed that wee swing of the car, and it forces Rain to have a side to side. And again, I would imagine that Rain probably would have preferred me to nail that corner and for him just to be able to push me along this straight. You can see here, we don't want the side to side, and Rain is faster, so we lift. Do we not lift? We do. We lift, and there was two of them, and another one went on the inside. My goodness, that's right, we were just absolutely terrified now. We found ourselves on the outside and away in this one, and we're like, oh my god, it's all gonna go wrong. Here's where it ends for us. But it wasn't. And again, everyone driving really sensible. And it's lap 13. It's around about now that I'm starting to think to myself, okay, perhaps it is time to enter this race and start wanting a bit of side-by-side action myself on the last couple of laps. Oh, we've got that one poor, we're going to have a poor drive out of that, but still clinging on. The third place is still up the road there. I think that was the slipstream gone, but with a poor drive out of that one. And again, we find ourselves somewhere where we don't really want to be. So easy for those guys to make a wee mistake, and our race is over if we're pushed out wide there. And again, just out of the slip and back into it. And another guy directly behind us as well. Again, keeping our patience. And second place is still just on up the road there. I think the leader is substantially ahead for sure. He's the full length of this here wee straight ahead by the arrows. The leader, so that's a substantial lead for sure. And again, struggling to cling as someone has dropped the wheel and made a mistake. And at this stage we are thinking, right, there is a 3 for the price of 1 sale on the last lap. There's a 4th place in this 4s now. We've kept our patience this whole race. It was now time to see if we could make some moves. One lap to go. We have very, very good memories of last laps at Monza. We've had some outstanding last laps where we passed 3 or 4 guys. And we're thinking exactly the same here again. We're thinking, oh my god, they're all going to be wanting it on the way into this one. I'm just going to chill out and hit my own line, and we'll get them all on the exit. And you'll see, we'll try to get the cut back, and the smallest of tops. And look at that, Gran Turismo again. A small look at that. The smallest of tops on his bumper on the way out. Hands us a 2-second penalty. I didn't notice this during the race, but that bit of contact there, Gran Turismo. Well, in fact, that was a bit later. I'm not sure what that, but you can see it's up now to 3 seconds. So that was definitely the first one. The next 1 second penalty, I'm not sure. The only contact, well, we've touched him there. It was whenever we touched him. Right, but yeah, very, very unlucky for us, and devastation is setting in now, and look where it's dropped us back to. The exact precision that the brain demands in order for us not to go again. And we'll get this one awful as well, because there's a guy getting a good run on us. And it's right here along this straight as he's going side by side that I realised, with that big number 8 floating above his head, god damn it, that's my 200 points. We had to fight it on the last corner, and we just about squeezed him out of that. He tried to get the cut back, but there was nothing to be had. So it was an 8th place in the end, 210 points. We ended the race happy that we got 210 points, but there was an opportunity there for perhaps a 250 or 260. So we were slightly disappointed in the end. Thank you guys. Catch us in the next one.